Welcome back to another edition of Brian's Big Idea. I am Brian Bolin, and I am the aggressive growth stock strategist here at Zacks Investment Research. And I've got a big idea around market cap. So when we talk about market cap, you think small, medium, large, right? But there's all sorts of things. Some people call it the mega caps. Some are SMID, small and mid. There's small cap, then there's micro cap, maybe even nano cap. All sorts of different market capitalizations and sizes of companies that are out there to trade and invest in. Now, when we think about small caps, that's the area that I really am aggressive into because that's where things really aggressively happen. But we also have a service for large cap stocks. So I'm going to take a look at 3 large cap stocks. Also happen to have a couple of them reporting earnings tonight after the close. So let's take a look at those and then talk about this wonderful service that we have. All right. So first up, we've got Microsoft. It's MSFT. I'm going to give you a highlighter so I don't look like I'm running over my markings there. All right, so it's a Zacks rank number 3. It's a hold. You say, Brian, why is this a hold? Because look at this great stock performance down here. Well, the reason that it's a hold is that earnings estimates for these big caps tend to happen right after an earnings event. And while there's lots of coverage for these names, the analysts tend to just make their numbers one time and then stick with them. It's very infrequent that they're moving their numbers around, at least in mass. So when there's more estimates, it's going to be harder to move the consensus, even if there are a couple people updating their numbers throughout the quarter. So the Zacks window is only open for 60 days, so you're not going to see too much movement on these big cap stocks with the Zacks rank right in front of earnings. All right, so this is a $3 trillion company. It's a big one. It's reporting after the close tonight, as we can see there. It's got an A for growth and a D for value. I like to see that. And we're edging a little lighter. The market's a little bit softer this morning. So we have the print coming up later on this evening. So let's go to the numbers we always look at. Are they beating the number? And the answer for Microsoft is yes. And it seems like every other quarter is a much bigger beat. So if we're in store for a 5% beat here, that would kind of fit the profile of the beat history. But 4 out of 4, always good to see. What's been happening with the estimates? Well, as I talked about, 90 days ago, which is when their last quarter ended, we saw estimates kick up just 2 pennies. But for the purpose of the Zacks rank, we only look at from the 60-day mark. Next quarter kicks up a penny. Full year, this is a fiscal year that ends in June, up 2 cents. We like to see that. And then, this was a long way off, 2025 into June. So not going to put too much weighting on that. All right, let's take a look at our growth. I'd love to see growth. Are we growing the top line? Because if you're not growing the top line, your expenses have to go to zero for you to make more money. We got 14% top line growth this quarter, and we got 13.5% next year. That's good to see. I like to see good growth. Now let's go look at another big cap stock, just hovering underneath that $3 trillion market cap. It's Apple. AAPL is the ticker. If you didn't know it, it's a Zacks rank number 3 as well. C for growth, D for value. Not quite that same chart that we had there, little ups and downs. They had a little issue with their watch and when they could sell it, when they couldn't. Let's take a look at that. And, they're going to report here, as I've highlighted it right there, February 1st. A little bit of time on this one. February 1st will be their earnings. All right, so we're going to jump to their earnings history. We see a miss, and then a beat, then a beat, then a beat. 5% beats consistently. I like to see consistency. They're guiding Wall Street to the appropriate levels so that they can then beat the number. That's what's important inside the earnings. Is management doing the job? They are. All right, so 208 to 209. We got a penny movement in the last 60 days. This is kind of up and down, $1.59 to 60, and then back to 59. This fiscal year in September goes 656 to 659. Next year, 710 to 718. That's looking better. All right, so estimates, some positivity there. Let's scroll up the detailed estimates page, and we're going to look at the growth. 2.5% growth this year, 6% next. A lot slower grower than Microsoft. But that's the nature of the big cap stocks. They're big. Sometimes they're slow growers. Sometimes they're big growers. Now we're going to go to another stock reporting tonight after the close, and this is Advanced Micro Devices. It's AMD. They are a chip stock. They're a 3 as well. F for growth and value, but again, we got that great looking chart. As I said, they report tonight after the close. You see that right there? Still a very big cap company at $285 billion. Way beyond what I would normally look at for the services that I manage here at Zacks. All right. Are you beating the number? You are. You are beating the number, but the beats aren't getting quite as big. They're 1 cent, 2 cent, 3 cent, but consistent beats is what we love to see. That's the starting point when we think something is good to be invested in. 77 cents holding still over for the Zacks rank. A penny up, a penny down. So not going the right way here for next quarter. That could change, though, tonight. 265 holding dead still for the year. Next year going up 361 to 366. Good to see on the estimates front for the most part. What's happened on the top line? Well, we've got contraction, revenue contraction. Hate to see it, but it's true. Minus 4% for this year, but things turn around. We get good revenue acceleration, 15.6% next year. So we might have slowed down. We might have slowed our roll this year, but the key is that 2023 is over, and we buy a stock not for what it has done, but what it will do. And we're looking at 15% growth here. So AMD, keep that one on your list. All right. Now I want to talk about a service that we have here at Zacks. It's called Large Cap Trader. Here you see the name, Large Cap Trader. And this is a service that looks just at the big cap stocks. I've blocked out their names here. Not going to give away the portfolio. This is a paid-for service here at Zacks. It's run by Dr. John Blank. He's the stock doctor. He has a PhD from MIT. Oh, all the abbreviations here today. Massachusetts Institute of Technology is what we call MIT, just so if you weren't up on it. All right, so John looks at these big cap stocks, and, where the small cap stocks, I would see dark pool trades very infrequently. John sees them all the time. And he is, consistently adding names throughout the year. He does have a stock that's held over from October of 2022, basically right where he bought it. So maybe had some upsides, some downs, but it's still good. But a lot of green on the screen, much more green than red. That's what we always love to see. Now, one thing I'm going to point out about John's portfolio here, as I've scribbled all over the page and no one can read it, I'm going to note that he gives you the percentage. What percentage of your overall portfolio that's dedicated towards big caps should each of these positions have? And you can see his, one of his bigger weighted names here is 5.74%. That's actually the biggest weighted name. And we can see it's got a nearly 20% return. Good for you, John. Way to go. But I noticed when I took a look at this, he's got 41% cash. That's a big amount of cash. So keep that in the back of your head. He's got lots of capital ready to deploy. So go ahead and take a look at Zacks Large Cap Trader when you get a chance. It's one of our great paid-for services here at Zacks. Until next time, when I have another big idea, why don't you go to Zacks.com/promo to check out all of our latest promotions.